Right, I don't want to keep them waiting, so I'm going to invite Rise and Wisty. Wisty just played Evo a moment ago, and he didn't get to show what he's really made of, because this guy's he's a monster. He looked extremely nervous. Well, let's see what he could do against Rise, who did impress the other day against Oski and Joyo. So good server first try. Rise from Europe, well, he's from England initially, but he's living in Portugal, up against Brazil's Wisty, who currently sits rank 1 in the world in 1v1. Rise had the clutch factor. He took Joyo in game 5 after Joyo's attempted reverse sweep in the teammate grudge match just last week. Already a bit of a cleaner start from Wisty, darting around the field and not doing it on 0 boost either. He's keeping a little bit of boost left over on these moves, which is good to see. As versus Evo, he ended up in awkward positions, completely motionless, completely out of boost several times. Dodging to the side there to make sure that Rise doesn't trip him up on the landing, and now jumping high before dodging again to avoid the demos. This is something that Rise is quite well known for. Good pick up there from Wisty early on, but it is Rise who does get the opening goal. Wisty panicking after thinking Rise is going to turn, gives away possession. Rise slaps it into the net. Rise continuing to look competitive against everybody that we throw him up against. He looked good against Oski despite going down 3-0. Wisty committing big time to the top corner flick there, not going to connect with it though. And Rise scores into the open net. Ghost33, thanks for the 11-month prime. Welcome back to the channel, man. Is your teammate grudge match on YouTube? It is. It just got uploaded today, so that one is on YouTube if you want to go watch it. That's a banger. Okay, Wisty's definitely, you can clearly see that he's playing a lot better than he was against Evo. And you know, in the sense that he's not making as many unforced errors. That was a clean strike, and one of the main things you want to look out for to see if somebody's on their game is check out how cleanly are they hitting the ball. Are they hitting the ball with power, or are they just slightly mishitting the ball every time? Sometimes one of the things that disappears when you're nervous, and one of the things that disappears when you're just not on your game, is your striking and flicking as well. Any kind of precision move out the window if you're nervous. So Wisty doesn't look like he's nervous right now. But Rise still able to outplay him a few times. That's a very nice boost grab though by Wisty. It's good that Rise is showing up in these ones matches. You know, a lot of people probably underestimated him when he played against Oski, thinking that he's just going to get clapped because Oski's so insane mechanically and recently has been so impressive in 1v1 as well. But Rise has quite a lot of 1v1 history, so this could be much closer than the rank leaderboard would suggest. Great start for Wise. Perfect start, really, as Wisty accidentally concedes possession again. Oh dear, Rise completely out of position, looking like an oil tanker without his turning mechanics, and Wisty converts his initial open net miss into in-ear post rebound. Yeah, that looked like me back in the day trying to turn my car around. That wasn't the ideal position for Rise to be in. Like, I think I've seen that before. What was the name of that boat that got stuck in the Suez Canal? That's what that reminded me of. Okay, hey, Wisty putting it together with a shot again, with the shooting again. The accuracy is there, the power is there. The Ever Given, was it really? Okay. That boat had a name. Don't all boats have names? At least that's what I thought. Tricky position for Rise, but the save off the crossbar goes over to the top of Wisty's head as well. Both players quite uncomfortable there. Wisty deciding not to go for the chain wall dash to beat Rise to that ball. He realizes Rise doesn't have a flip to work with, misses the boost grab. He knew that was spawning, tried to dodge in a way that would take him towards it, accidentally went past though. So Wisty, you know, he's stepping up here, clearly able to play the ball at a higher level in this game, but the movement is not 100% yet. The pathing slightly off every now and then. He's way out of position again. This is something we did see quite a lot against Evo. Oh my goodness, Rise missed that by almost such a large margin that Wisty almost owned gold this. Rise just missed that open net by I'd say about 4 car lengths. Still 1 goal game. Should be more though. Rise should definitely be up by 2. Confident challenge by Wisty. He's tried quite a few bumps in this matchup already, but Rise not ready to get bumped, it would seem. He's been extremely evasive. Now, no boost steal for Rise. He goes back in for it. That's key. Didn't really want to be giving away that back corner boost unnecessarily. I mean, look at the venom on Wisty's attack if you take it away from him. None left. Rise straight down the middle. Decides to go low. Oh, that's a great save by Wisty. Rise pulled out so many mind games against his teammate Choyo. Tried the same thing in Wisty here. Versus Wisty, I should say, but Wisty standing strong against him. Now, if you see somebody going for an in and out save and you're going to try and go low against him, it's important to try and get some kind of sideways movement on the ball, because what someone will want to do if they're coming out of their goal with an in and out save path to try and save a dribble, they're going to want to use their jump to bring their car back down to the ground. And if they've used their jump, then they don't have a dodge. What do they need their dodge for? To move left and right. So if you can get the ball low and to one of the sides, then you're going to be able to get the ball past anyone trying an in and out save, generally speaking. Rise didn't get the second part there. Okay, hold on. Wisty's leveling up, guys. He's leveling up. I'm so glad, I'm so happy for him that he's showing us what he's made of here, because I know a lot of people after watching his debut would just judge him and think, I'm not going to watch this guy again. But I'm telling you, you've got to watch this guy. He is crazy. KV1, you know, opening the floodgates for Brazilian 1v1 players. Now, Wisty trying to come through, help him out against the best that the world's got to offer. 1 goal advantage now for the Brazilian player. Pre-flips into position. The back corner boost not spawning for Rise. Way too early. Rise dodging another demo. Wisty sticking around, gets him in reverse. It's just low boost. In fact, no boost bumper cars right now. Wisty trying to go for a reverse flick, despite the fact that he was also on 0. Wisty staying active. Doesn't give Rise any space with 0 seconds. Brilliant vision from Wisty. He did that well versus Evo. He's brought that to this game as well. That's keeping an eye on his opponent when the ball's over his head. Wisty getting his 2nd game win on the channel. This one, very impressive stuff. Rise going to change car, looks like, before getting into game 2. This is by far the most impressive game we've seen out of Wisty, though. Nowhere near as many unforced errors as he made against Rise. He's still not perfect. He's made a couple of unforced errors. That is undeniable. But he's getting there. He's definitely getting there. Out of all the new rosters that have been announced / rumoured, which one am I most excited for? Well, the rumoured Seiko to BDS is obviously the answer there. I mean, who wouldn't be excited about BDS to Seiko, right? It's like, Monkey Moon and Extra can now speak French in comms, and Seiko can speak French in comms. French players can speak French in comms. I hear that's a good idea. That got confirmed. I think the only thing that's confirmed is that Seiko has been dropped by endpoint. I don't think anything else was confirmed, was it? I actually don't know of anything else, so that would be news to me if it's confirmed. Smash GG leaked everything. That's interesting. Great patience from Rise. I want to see this from his POV. Sorry to make you watch this back, Wisty. I'm sure you're not going to be too proud of your defense on this play, but yeah, excellent work there from Rise. Saw what Wisty was doing, building up speed on the inside of the goalpost, trying to charge in with momentum. So he just didn't put the ball in front of the goal. That's good acceleration on the ball there from Wisty, but Rise getting enough on it. Oh, double jump from Wisty, which I have to think was an accident. So he's pulling straight past the ball again. Rise going to make it 3-0 here. Wisty looking a bit jumpy once again. He's just got to calm down here. He's got to try think about his moves. You know, if this is happening to you in Rocket League, if you're starting to make some unforced errors on every single play, I think the most important thing to do is just play consistently. Just try not take any risks. Try and not rely on perfect mechanics in low boost situations. Try and not rely on perfect mechanics, really stretching what you're capable of for a shot that needs to be struck with absolute perfection. Because if you're not playing well, you know, it's better to wait for a much more convertible chance, a much more consistent shot on net. Looks like Wisty's going to sneak one through here. Rise not able to get the goal covered on this one. Okay, so he thought that it was going to go near post. Didn't realize that Wisty was in fact trying to shoot far post. Committed a bit too much on that one. I'll talk about all the, once everything's confirmed, all the rosters. I'll of course rank the roster moves. Let you guys know what I think. That's great play from Wisty. Fantastic decision making. He had a flip here to fake a shot with. That's why Rise was waiting for the dodge. He thought maybe that Wisty was going to wave dash the landing and just direct the ball towards the goal immediately. So he was holding out for that to happen. Wisty just going for the demo instead. He's lacking a bit of power on that shot. That's not good enough to force Rise to make an awkward save. Not even enough to force Rise to jump, as Rise just collects the possession for free. It's good defense from Wisty in the immediate aftermath. Rise gets to the mid boost to faster the two players. Wisty forces Rise back though with an awkward touch on the ball. Rise with the ball carry right into the ball chase challenge. Wisty not falling for Rise shenanigans. Rise was really hoping that this was a fake challenge. But Wisty, even though he knows he's in plain sight, just decides to drive into the ball. This is something you have to do in 1v1. You have to do it occasionally. If you don't sometimes just drive into the ball, then your opponent is going to every time assume that you're not driving into the ball and take their time, get right up close and personal with you, and take shots and take flicks from close range that you're not going to like. It's a really smart play there by Wisty. Looks like Rise has the boost and the recovery to match that aerial play though. Will he be able to keep his lead intact? Wisty ramping a bit of a comeback here. He thought about trying to keep the ball in that back corner to grab another boost on the way out, but no, says Rise. Just across the goal they go, and the counter-attack works out. Wisty needed to keep the ball in front of the net, or at least above the net, and in a threatening position if he was going to keep stealing that boost away. A strong kickoff for Wisty, something he was doing again and again against Evo. Rise will have to keep switching his kickoff up if he doesn't want to fall prey in the way that Evo did. This one looking a lot better for Rise, but only half the game gone actually. It feels like a lot longer has gone by. Oh, great realization there by Wisty. Noticing the shot was going to creep underneath the crossbar. Just dives in for the bump. And you know, with that initial strike, it wasn't 100% obvious that that was hitting the bar. So good read there. Good read there by the Brazilian player. One cool thing about the Brazilian Rocket League scene, by the way, and about Rise in particular, is that Rise, living in Portugal, I think for 8 years now, if I remember correctly. He speaks Portuguese, so Portuguese is of course the language of Brazil, and that means that Rise and the Brazilian pros can hang out at LAN, which is really cool to see. I think the only, well actually a Chronic as well, he's Portuguese as well, so there's a little Portuguese speaking community in Rocket League. Finally, the Portuguese colony in South America paying off. Lost Port, thanks to the brand new Prime. Wisty coming through with another flip reset. I think his aerial play versus Evo is almost non-existent, but we're starting to see it here. He's feeling so much more confident. And it was the extra touches to set up that dodge into the ball that really caught Rise off guard there. The extra touches before shooting to tend to accelerate that ball a little bit more, turning the shot into somewhat of a flick. Spanish players as well to some effect, with some effort really. Spanish and Portuguese, that's similar. I always thought that they sounded so different, so you know, I don't really know anything about them beyond that. To me as an English speaker, they just sound different. Nice little mind game there by Rise. Credit in the chat from Wisty dropping the nice shot. This would be such a big game if Wisty can get the win in it, because his series versus Evo, it just went so badly for him. If he can get a 2-0 lead, that'll set him right. Rise with the last second dive bomb. Attempting the air double bump. I think he's actually accelerated Wisty into a save here though. Hope we get to see this again on the replay, but we might not. It happened a while ago now. Yeah, we're not going to get to see that one, so I want to remind myself to save this replay, because that was an interesting interaction. Rise with a big misplay, air dribbling the ball way too high for it to, you know, dip under the bar. That's kind of making the air double bump pointless, but Wisty still recovered really well, as he has done here also. But here comes Rise aerial play again. One flip reset. Going for another one after a rebound, and he puts it in reverse. Stunning from Rise. I just had a feeling he's going to go for a second flip reset here, but I didn't think he was going to land it after the ball first hits the crossbar. Great stuff from Rise. Started off his threes career in the shadow of both of his teammates who were double, triple flip resetting on everybody, but Rise has got that in him as well. He just didn't have to show it for the longest time. Oh dear, he's really been that recovery though. Rise, what have you done? I think he just face planted the post and bounced off towards the midfield. Oh no, and then he's got an own goal as well. Great pass, says Rise. It's really all gone wrong on that play, and this is quite disastrous, because now we're just 37 seconds away from this game being over, and Wisty's got momentum. Rise, with only 8 boosts to his name, has to just settle for knocking the ball away to buy some time, but he doesn't buy any time at all, and he sticks around in no man's land. Wisty takes him out of the game, and now he leads in game 2 as well. Oh dear, Rise, what has gone wrong? He had this one under control for a long time. Delayed kickoff, gets spotted, and Wisty is up by 2. Now this is a kickoff that Toxic was actually doing quite well against Khaled in their matchup. He was blocking Khaled's kickoff to the diagonal spawn, which was a very side-on approach from Khaled, but if you have a goal side approach, you're just going to score against anyone who's trying to block the diagonal. They're blocking on the outside, and Wisty's done it again. He's running away with this at the end. In fact, he's completely ran away with it. 4 goals in a row for Wisty in quick succession, and now he's going to be up 2-0. Really interesting set of games. The crazy thing about Wisty though is that he's still not playing at his peak potential. I think you can see that with the mistakes that he's making. Even if you don't know a lot about this guy, even if you've never seen him play before, I think you'd be able to tell he's not playing his best, and I don't think Rise is playing his best either in this matchup. They've both beamed it quite a lot in this second game, but Wisty definitely has a lot more gears to go to, and I do worry for Rise, because although he's able to, you know, compete with the top players by the looks of things, if one of them shows up and plays their absolute best, I think it might still be a bit of a gap, because Rise, he's not had the activity, you know, to go toe-to-toe with one of the mechanical gods if they really pop off. But Wisty definitely hasn't popped off fully yet. He's scored some bangers in that second game, he scored some bangers in this series, but we still have not seen the best from this guy. He's probably got another 2 gears at least. And I think Rise has another gear as well, but does he have 2 in 1v1? We know he's got, you know, many more gears in 3v3. Let's see what he can do in game number 3. Wisty having to stand strong against hard shots from Rise. Third one goes wide. Wisty was jumping to block it either way. He spots an opening there. Good read there from Wisty, anticipating a high pop from Rise. Now Rise actually backing away, and Wisty getting exactly what he wanted in this exchange long turn. That's boost and the ball. He had to save a few shots and buy a lot of time in order to see this. Flip reset, easily savable by Rise. He's actually sent his long shot way too far wide. Oh, Wisty missed the boost grab though. Big mistake from the Brazilian. Rise trying to control this 50-50, trying to get Wisty out the game. Nice pinch from Wisty. That's not going to buy him enough time to grab a 100 boost, but it does get him back to the ball. A great 50-50 it was. So Wisty doing quite well on the back foot here. He's surviving Rise pressure, but Still, the occasional mistake coming through. Boost miss is, you know, not something you ever want to see at this level. I know he's lost control as well, so he's so close to the finish line, but Wisty still making mistakes. Rise finds a way through. Wisty trying to be a bit sneaky there. Yeah, he turned aggressively. He was expecting another soft touch from Rise. Rise just shoots immediately. It's a great call on the exact play that Wisty was going to go for. Better save from Rise. Wisty trying to double tap. Oh, another great save from Rise. So the double tap's usually a hard counter to somebody who's making a double save like that with low boost, but Rise managing to keep the hang time in the air long enough for the contact to come through. So it looked like Wisty was on point with the double tap. Let's see if Wisty brought the aerial mechanics into game number 3 as well. Flip reset attempted. He actually nearly had that. That was an extremely awkward position, and he almost made it work. Now he's bailed out of this one though. Just a brief touch on the ball to waste some time. I think Wisty actually just missed another back corner boost. So 2 times in this game he's completely missed the back corner boost. You can see that he really wants to just turn as sharply as he can. In his attempt to be a little bit faster, he is not keeping the accuracy intact. Great timing on the dodge there from Wisty. Rise looking to connect with the demo, but Wisty gives it back to him. You know, he's made those 2 mistakes more than once this game. That's the back corner boost miss. Also, a bit careless with the possession. So rare to see a 1-0 more than halfway through a 1v1 game. It's going to be 1-1 now though, and it's a very similar position actually. Rise scored earlier in the game after spotting Wisty challenging early after a mid-boost play. This time it's role reversal. Wisty spots Rise turning around, trying to surprise him with an early challenge. Will we see an explosion of goals, as we so often do after a low-scoring first half? Wisty first up with the big opportunity. Decided not to double jump into the ball. Instead plays for the long game. That long game not paying off immediately. Rise staying outside of his goal, challenging outside of the net, steals the boost. Well, maybe not steals, I guess, secures the boost. And this time he does get that angle change as Wisty comes in with the in and out save. Great save in the next play as well. Wisty's had some excellent goalkeeping in this one. Very localized mistakes from Wisty. Possession hasn't been the best. Boost management also not the best, but other aspects of his game are really starting to come together here. Rise does not look comfortable. Still, great read. Not an easy position, but he gets it right. Wisty not falling for Rise shenanigans. Rise throwing a ton of wiggles into that approach, but oh wait, where's Wisty gone? He's not even anywhere near to the ball. Hold on a second here. Oh wow, yeah, he just went for that. I can't believe that he went for this. He wasn't even close. I mean, he's trying to surprise Wisty. He's definitely surprised me. Oh, he's trying to surprise Rise, I'd say. That clue's in the name. Rise doesn't get surprised because he is Sir Rise. Okay, that's terrible. I'll see myself out. Where's the door? Oh dear. Wisty's still on track for a sweep though. Hang on a second here. Oh, never mind. He's giving the ball away again. He's giving the ball away. Rise not going to miss such an easy chance as that. And yeah, you can see the frustration. The car body language is actually so telling sometimes after a misplay. That would be a great time to just end the stream and then start it again. Should have done that. That would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. Convincing fake challenge from Rise. Follows it up with a real one. That one has not gone as well for him. Wisty stretches around the ball to execute an open net under pressure. Great stuff out of Wisty. You know, it's wide open, but given how difficult it's been for him to connect in this match with his regular level of play, I'm impressed that he's able to put that one in. I think he just asked Rise if he speaks Portuguese. He said, Rise, você sabe falar português? Does that mean, do you understand or speak Portuguese? Rise says, sí, which I imagine would be yes. Wow, says Wisty. There we go. Portuguese friends, and I don't know what they're saying other than this very obvious sentence. Looks like we're headed towards game number 4 here. Careless play on several occasions from Wisty. And he's not going to make up for it. The ball will head towards the ground. No sweeps tonight. Rise. Just able to get a game on the board there in a very low scoring affair. So what does this mean? Rise, Voco. Oh, I've forgotten already. I mean, I know Portuguese. Portuguese? Yeah, can you speak Portuguese? What was the word for word translation? Voco. What is this? Chat, you're allowed to type in or you're allowed to teach me some Portuguese briefly here before we go back to English only in the chat. All right, trying to go for maximum accuracy in the follow-up shot there. Not able to make it count, but that's a lot better. Second time, snipes that top corner. Voco means you. Okay, so they start off with Voco. Voco. Great placement there from Rise. Always try and aim behind the goalkeeper if you can. It's a much more difficult position to get a save and also clear the ball and take possession than aiming in front of someone. Rise with a strong near post defensive play. Keeps Wisty back for now. Wisty actually jumping here. Wants the dunk. And he's managed it. Well, that's unconventional. This looks like a kind of Joria's play. It's a play that I would never expect anyone else to go for because it just doesn't look like it should work. But it does work in this case for Wisty because he dunks the ball on the side Rise wasn't expecting him to be on. What's the reason for the English only rule? It's because myself and my mods don't speak any other languages that you guys are going to type. So if you want to interact in the chat, please use Google Translate to translate into English. It's much easier for one person to do it here and there than it is for us to translate everything. Boke means you, Sabe means no, Falar means speak. Okay, got it. I'll definitely forget all that after trying to remember. That's a really good mind game by Rise. That leaves Wisty wide open for the bump, but Wisty still recovering well. He called Rise bluff there. He knew that Rise wouldn't want to give him a 50-50, so Wisty did not dodge into the ball. He just single jumped. I don't think he's going to get a goal off this, but he did well to just simply avoid getting scored on. The structure is a bit different in Portuguese. Yeah, that I do understand because, you know, although you guys probably aren't going to type any different languages, except, well, that I understand except English. I do speak one other language, and that's Scottish Gaelic, but it's a very rare language. I'd be extremely surprised if anybody at this time of night knows, except myself. Yeah, that's got a different structure to English, so I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the concepts, I just don't speak Portuguese or Spanish. Looks like Rise actually had respect for the pinch in that position. Wisty trying to pre-jump to force Rise high. Rise doesn't go too high though. Good placement from Rise with the air dribble. He saw that Wisty was jumping, so he tried to get as many extra touches on the ball that he could there. Of course, when you're trying to go over the top of someone's challenge, sometimes you put your car in the line of fire, which is exactly what happened there. Rise finding the thin margin between hitting the bar and getting challenged or blocked. Wait, we do actually have someone in chat who can speak oh, you speak Irish Gaelic. Irish Gaelic I can mostly read because it's similar enough to Scottish Gaelic that I can read it somewhat well, but I can't speak it. It's, let's say I can read about 50%, or at least I could read about 50% of the signs, even the elaborate signs, when I was in Dublin Airport one time, because they have all their signs in Irish. Some of the signs were more elaborate than exit and baggage. You know, when you see those signs, obviously you know what that means. But yeah, even the long signs explaining, you know, different things, I was like, wait, I know what that means as well. It's pretty cool. It's the only real life situation where speaking Scottish Gaelic was useful to me. It's the only time where I was like, wow, it's actually useful to know this language that no one else I ever speak to knows. Oh, that's actually fantastic from Wisty. Rise immediately recognizes the class on this, you know, otherwise very simple move. Wisty fakes the fake He jumped there, air rolled one way, made it look like he was faking the shot by not immediately flying into it, but then he air rolls back into it to counter Rise's challenge. So that's levels there from Wisty. The double mind game almost, and now he's gone for just one to put himself up by just one. Rise getting outsmarted in the last couple plays here. Very intelligent moves by Wisty. And I'm telling you guys, he's a very, very smart player, but he's clearly got the mechanics. He's not put them, you know, on show for us consistently today, but he's had flashes of brilliance, and I've seen him in other matches, I've seen him in other games just do that start to finish. You know, when he really does show up, he's a very special player. And that's why, you know, I wonder if Rise will be able to match him should we go the distance, and should Wisty produce his absolute best. That was guts from Rise not to flip early into the ball. Wisty trying to get close to him here. Not going to be easy to clear this one. Rise waiting for Wisty to fall away from it to put in his equalizer with no risks taken. Kashu Time, thank you for the brand new Prime. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, I live in Glasgow, where probably more than 99.9% of people speak English. Maybe not actually, but it wouldn't be because they only speak Scottish Gaelic. It's probably because they only speak a different language and they just moved here to work. Yeah, no, there's probably, I don't know, it'll be a super low percentage. The percentage of people in Scotland, not just where I live in the city, but the percentage of people in Scotland who only speak Scottish Gaelic and not English is probably close to zero. Close to 0%. Everybody who does speak Scottish speaks English as well, which is why speaking it is only useful for learning other languages and you know, maintaining the Scottish heritage, and also being able to read Irish. Being able to read Irish badly. Both players again having that little awkward dance where they both run out of boost almost completely. Now Rise has got 100 for himself. Wisty manages a 50-50 extremely well though. That's going to buy him time to restock, but here comes Rise. Airroll shot from close range. Wisty's equal to it. The recovery is good. That'll force Rise all the way back into his corner. Wisty secures mid boost. Rise once again. He's trying to get Wisty to challenge early here. Wisty does go for it, but he stays low enough. But despite Rise getting what he wanted, it still didn't go too badly for the Brazilian. He's been forced into so many awkward positions on low boost, one after another, but his 50-50 game is doing work. Wisty still in this to win it. Now tight angle airwheel shot. He was looking to catch Rise out of position there. If Rise went for a corner wall, or rather a sidewall demo, that would have just been a goal for Wisty. Very sneaky shot to be going for. Rise covered the goal, as he does here as well. Wisty pops it, I think slightly off target. Rise decides to hit it into the corner anyway, after dodging the air dribble bump. Early flick. Wisty shadowing effectively. Lands on the back wall. That's going to force Rise to think twice about challenging in the back corner here. Into the ground we go. One more goal for Rise takes us into Game 5. Can Wisty secure a series win on his second try on the channel? Great start. Forces Rise onto the goal line. Seals away the boost. Rise places his save exceptionally well there. That really slowed down the incoming attack from Wisty. Oh dear, Wisty's just giving it away, but Rise completely scuffs the shot. That might have been open in the top right corner. I'm not sure. It was very close. I think any shot on the right side of the goal there for Rise might have been out of reach from Wisty. Wisty's got a lot of boost to play with here. He's trying to quickly turn around, but he doesn't get it. Oh, I think he might have just conceded. He doesn't get it to work out at all. And another heartbreak for Wisty. He had to do something here. He had to challenge, but Rise controls it. And into the net it goes. It's not working out for Wisty today in the clutch. Bit of a shame for him. I mean, he had the same problem in a Game 4. Well, it wasn't the exact same problem, but he had a similar problem in a Game 4 against Evo, where he had an open net to send it into overtime and he dropped it onto the ground instead. Now he had I think a slightly favourable position there, but he just beamed it on the turn. He went for, you know, one of those more technical ways to turn around, pops the ball in reverse, takes off backwards, tries to get up and down again before Rise can counter him, but he just missed the ball. So it's kind of like what I said earlier. If you're not on your absolute A game, these more awkward positions are probably positions you might want to just say no thanks to. You don't really want to commit too hard on those kind of plays. And I'm liking Wisty's challenging. I'm really liking his shadowing game. I think he's done a great job in defense, and instead of really just trying to force the issue with his offense and playing every single awkward position that lands on his lap, I think he should probably just say no thanks to some of these. Just go get boost, let Rise come at him. I think it might be a more consistent method. But we'll see what Wisty goes for. No doubt, very entertaining player, and he is going to keep on committing to these positions where you need to play your recoveries perfectly if you're going to stay in the game. That's smart from Rise, and he executes the rebound as well. Calm finish from the best Englishman in Portugal in Rocket League. You could honestly call Rise best English player right now. I could have just stopped there after the Winter Major. That's a good call there from Wisty. I don't think Rise realized Wisty was going to stick around for this one. I need to watch it back again. Yeah, Wisty, just completely beat him to the ball. Well done. Rise thought Wisty was going to leave there. Thought Wisty was going to back down, but instead he just stays on the ball, stays active, and he does get rewarded. It looks like he's going to stay to that game plan that I pointed out, where he's going for a lot of risky plays. He's deciding to play these awkward positions where he doesn't have a lot of boost. I do still think he should probably not do that this much when his recoveries have been maybe, let's say, 90%, 85% today of what they're usually at. But Wisty definitely knows what he's doing. He's been in positions like this before. He's played a ton of ranked games recently. Oh, it's a great flick. Lovely position on the landing as well, but not able to put it together with his second shot. That's telling, it's these follow-ups where Wisty doesn't have momentum, where he doesn't have the boost. That's when he looks awkward. Again and again, whenever he's in these positions where he has to manage his boost perfectly, he's not making it work. His ball touches are just not quite there. Rise slaps in another shot to go up by one once again. KV1 versus Wisty. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'd love to see it. KV1 definitely would have the edge, I think, right now, though, if Wisty, doesn't show up with his A game, which looks difficult for him today. He's definitely not playing his A game now, and he definitely wasn't playing his A game earlier. Whereas KV1, majority of the time he plays his A game when he shows up in a ones show match. It's a fake boost grab there from Wisty. He was trying to fake a run to the wall, but Rise does not fall for it. We have to see Rise POV on this one as well, because it looked like Wisty was trying to fake that he was going for the mid boost. He was hoping that Rise would flip in that direction to beat him to it. Rise smell something in the air. He just figured that something was up. However, it wasn't his scoreline going to 5 with another shot going wide and another one as well. This is just not accurate enough. It's not the kind of shooting that Wisty needs right now. That was just passing the ball to Rise. Luckily for him, his defense doing pretty good for himself, even on the back foot. And he really needs that boost to spawn. It doesn't. It spawned right behind him. He knew that he was quite early to it, but he didn't have the time to slow down, or he'd put himself in danger of being demoed. That's a little bit unfortunate for Wisty, but he doesn't let it hold him back. Strong follow-up. That's a great first touch. Even better second touch, putting the ball in a position that Rise can't really challenge, and he can't cover easily. Still, Rise in the lead in game number 5. He's the player on the road to the reverse sweep. He was able to halt his teammate Joyo's reverse sweep against him last week. KV1 versus Yan. Yeah, that would be awesome. I think KV1, Wisty, Yan, they're the top 3 in Brazil. I'm not sure if KV1 would agree. That's for me. That's my top 3 from Brazil and from South America. Great defense from Rise. Following Wisty the whole way. Had his eye on potential for a high shot. Covered the low shot as well, but oh, hang on. He's not covered that all that well. And now Wisty slots in an equalizer. Rise extremely out of position. and panics on the recovery. He thought that was going to hit the crossbar and then go in, or he thought it was going to go crossbar and stay around in the goal line. Jumped up to look for a clear, and it just doesn't work out. Wisty back on the ball now. 80 seconds to go, and into the air he goes. No reset. Goes for the dunk instead. Rise deflects it into the post. Wisty going to go again. Takes away the mid boost. It's not going to harm Rise too much, who still takes the ball away from him. And Wisty completely lets his guard down. I don't think he realized that Rise was coming in for him in this position. He actually looked, but he didn't think Rise would just play the ball. Oh dear, Wisty. He did not realize how open that ball was. I mean, even if Rise doesn't get to play the ball there, if Wisty hits it away from him, Rise is turning anyway. He's already got plan B. He's got the recovery plan figured out. That's a good bump by Wisty though. Rise pathing over the small pads. Decides to go for the back corner as well. Oh, what a 50-50 that is from Rise. Destroys Wisty on the infield. And Rise, he said he don't lose game 5s against Droyo. Apparently, he was speaking facts, because he's not losing this game 5 either, even in a different match order. This guy had unbelievable game 5, or you know, if it was a 5-game series, he'd have perfect game 4-5 record in the winter split major. If it's a 7-game series, he had almost perfect game 6-7 record in the winter split major. And now in best of 5 1v1s, he's about to go 2 for 2 in game 5s. He misses a back wall conversion. And Wisty knows that is all or nothing right now. He has to go for something big off the wall, and no doubt Rise is going to have a lot of the goal covered. Wisty with some revenge with a 50-50 game. He's found a way to make this interesting, and that was a difficult one to recover from. He didn't get the first touch that he wanted. No doubt he wanted to set up a flip reset there. He hit it way too far off the wall. Still gets it through Rise. Wisty, another big kickoff. He's been doing this all day. Even in the clutch, he's putting it together. He hasn't got a shot on target though. And I think Rise, yeah, he beats him to the boost. This should be game over. Rise fakes the wall clear, lets it roll into the ground, and he takes down Wisty in 5. Great comeback from Rise. Just the more consistent of the two players as the series went on and on. Much better performance from Wisty. I think he'll be a lot happier with how he played in this one. But man, Rise, he's just got that ice in game 5s. He just doesn't lose them. He doesn't lose them. 2 for 2. Let me have these jumps. Forky, it'll have to be tomorrow, man. It'll have to be tomorrow. I'll set it up if you want to. I'll set it up if you want to. Get your Twitter back. I'm going to have to head off for tonight, though. It's almost 4 in the morning. I don't want to stay up too late. But yeah, GG's to both these players. Thanks to both of them for coming on.